everyone, it's Genene and welcome to day 8 of our 30 days of yoga, meaningful connections. Today we're doing Sun Salutation A Series with lots of options for modifications as we do. I have Tom here with me to help me out. If you're going to do Sun Salutation without any modifications, then Tom's the person that you're going to follow. I'll be doing, as he's doing that, I'll be doing all of the modifications. And we'll be doing a bunch of different varieties. So if one doesn't work for you, wait for the next one. So welcome to Sun Salutation Week. For today, you may need some props if you're going to do modifications. You might need one chair, 2 blocks, and you might need a chair and a wall if you need to stay seated the entire time. Let's begin standing in Tadasana, either with your feet together or feet hip bone width apart, especially if you have any back issues going on. Feet apart is going to feel better. And then gently allow your eyes to close. Allow yourself to start breathing in and out through your nose. Get centered. Stand tall in your Tadasana. And then join your hands together, connect your thumbs with your heart, and state to yourself your intention for your practice. Thinking about the sun, perhaps you choose to dedicate your practice to the sun and all the sun gives to you. What meaning does that have to you? Release your hands down by your sides. Allow your eyes to open. If you're modifying by sitting in a chair, grab your chair now and either put it at the front of your mat or go and find a wall, and that will give you the most support. Otherwise, you're going to follow along with Tom for the regular Sun Salutation A series. To help those of you following along with Tom, I will say the Sanskrit names of the asanas, and if you're in the chair, follow the instructions along with me. Tadasana. Sit in your chair facing a wall. Bring your feet under your knees and your knees in line with your hips. If your legs are long and your knees are higher than your hips, place a blanket on your chair seat. If your legs are short and your knees are lower than your hips, place a block under each foot. Take your arms by your side or hands in front of your heart to begin. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead by your ears, palms facing each other. Uttanasana. Exhale, hands on thighs and bow. Elbows bent forward, crown of head resting on the wall. If available, walk your hands to the floor, to the outside or inside of the legs, depending on your flexibility. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, bring your hands onto your thighs. Lift your head off the wall and extend your spine upward. Uttanasana. Exhale, bow forwards, hands to the floor, head resting on the wall again. Phalakasana, plank pose. Inhale, drawing hands down the wall, shoulder height. Chaturanga. Exhale, bend elbows straight back, leaning torso forward. Bhujangasana, cobra. Inhale. Lift your chest and head, extending your spine. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, hands reach up as high as possible and then place the palms and forehead on the wall, hips reaching back into the chair seat. Hold here for several breaths. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your head off the wall and extend your spine. Uttanasana. Exhale, bow forwards, head resting on the wall again. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead by your ears, palms facing each other. Tadasana. hands by your side or in front of your heart. Now let me grab a chair and we'll show you some props, some chair things that you can do. If your chair is not sturdy, you can put this chair against a wall instead. We'll start with the hands at the chair back. Okay. So from here, if you have balance issues, keep your hands on the chair, at least one. And then inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then exhale, bow. And for you, it looks like this. You step back and it's like a 90-degree. And then inhale up halfway if you're doing Tom, otherwise just stay here. Exhale, bow. Now inhale, plank. So you're going to shift your weight forward so that you're like a plank of wood, like this. And then you're going to, Tom's going to do vinyasa. So chaturanga, cobra, and we're going to come onto the tops of our feet or not. Just shift your weight forward, lift your chest, maybe your hips get onto the front of the chair seat. And then you're exhaling back to this, for you, your downward facing dog position. And you're hanging out. So you're bent 90 degrees, but your sitting bones are still lifting because your pelvis is still turning forward, where the top rim is turning forward. And you're breathing deep and free. And now walk yourself forward. And maybe you inhale your arms overhead. Maybe you just do one arm. And then exhale, hands down to your chair back. You can do the same thing with the chair seat. So I'll do that now while Tom does the regular. So regular or not. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, bow, hands to the chair seat. So see here, you can go a little bit deeper. You can even bend your arms at the elbows. Top of head can come down onto the chair seat maybe. Play with it. Inhale, come up halfway. So here you can do this Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, bow. Inhale into plank. A little bit more intense than before. And then exhale, either chaturanga. You can bend at the elbows here or keep the elbows straight. Come onto the tops of the feet or not. And then shift the hips forward. Lift your sternum bone high to the sky. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And now you'll be deeper than 90 degrees, so a little bit more intense. This is always where we pause purposely, checking in, gathering, getting quiet after all the vigorous activity of this sun salutation. And then walk or jump your feet forward. Inhale up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow Uttanasana. And then inhale with the neutral spine, come up to stand. And then exhale, hands in front of your heart. And release your arms down by your side for Tadasana. So if you have back issues or any issues where you cannot flex your spine or round your spine, then you follow me. Otherwise, you can do another variation. Inhale, stretch your arms up. And then exhale, instead of forward bending, you're going to step your left leg back for your modification. And then exhale, arms go down so you can step your right leg back. Come to sitting on your heels. And Tom's going to come up halfway. And then exhale, fold. And then we're going to bring our hands to the floor and step back, everyone together, into plank. And then again, you're going to decide if you can lower down to the floor or not. And I'll show you a modification. If you have shoulder or back pain, really shoulder pain, you can come down onto forearms and then lower down, uncurl the toes, and then hands across from the chest. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. And maybe you're just down here, or maybe you've lifted up higher. You're listening to your body today. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Again, if you have shoulder issues or you don't want to hurt your back, so forearms, pull the low belly in strongly, lift, and then walk your feet, walk your legs in, come onto your hands, then join everyone else in downward facing dog. So the last thing you want to do, especially if you have back pain, is to try to undulate the spine every which way and really hurt your back. So modify as needed. Here's a good time for everyone together. Bend your knees. Take your sitting bones, lift them up to the sky strongly. Keep them lifted and slowly start to straighten your knees. Keep that lift. On an exhale, come down onto your knees or step your feet forward. Now, step your right foot between your hands and then step your left foot between your hands and come to standing as Tom does his Ardha Uttanasana and his Uttanasana, and then joins us, come to standing, inhaling arms overhead and exhaling hands in front of heart. And then release your arms down by your sides. And the next round, you would just switch, stepping the left leg back first, just opposite of whatever you did before. From here, if you have tight hamstrings, grab your 2 blocks right in front of your mat to begin. So the first thing, if you have shoulder pain or issues, then you're going to sweep your arms out in front of you. Tom is going to keep going out to the side. Inhale, raise your arms up. And then exhale, bow. Touch either your knees if you don't have props, or the blocks, or hands on the floor, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. And next, exhale, fold. Now you don't need blocks for this, so you can bend your knees if you need to, and then inhale, step back into plank. So going really slow on the first one. And now, if you have shoulder issues, you may find that you want to stay here or you want to bring your knees down to the floor. Otherwise, vinyasa flow. Follow Tom. Chaturanga, lowering down, inhale into cobra, chest broad. And then everyone together, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Pushing the tops of the thighs back, giving your spine some traction. Take several breaths here. Now, look in between your hands and either walk or jump your feet forward. And then inhale up halfway. Again, you can grab the blocks if you need to. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing. Reach. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Release your arms and take a breath here. For this next one, Tom is going to be doing up dog. You can continue with your vinyasa and doing Bhujangasana Cobra instead if you like, or follow along with Tom and do the up dog. I'm going to talk him through so you get to see what I do all the time. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, bow. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, bow in. Inhale to plank. Now I'm going to leave it up to you. You can do chaturanga, or you can just keep your arms straight and go straight into up dog. Lift your chest, not so much chin. There you go, good. Right here, lift. And then exhale, up, downward facing dog. Right heel. Good job. And then strong, straight arms. I know you're getting tired. So when you get tired, what you do is you draw in deeper. Push the tops of your thighs back more strongly. Get some weight off of your arms. One more breath. And then look in between your hands and choose, do you want to jump? No. Walk your feet forward. Inhale up halfway. And then exhale, bow. And then inhale, come up to standing. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And now release your arms down by your side. This last one is practitioner's choice. How do you want to do your sun salutation? And once you've chosen, inhale, stretch your arms up. I'll lead you through the regular sun salutation and then just ignore me if you're doing another one. Exhale, bow. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. So I'll show you what you do for shoulder stuff. Exhale, lower down. So I'm coming down on the forearms. Inhale, either up dog or cobra, your choice. Exhale, down dog. So if you, again, this might be too intense if you have shoulder issues, but it might work for you. With all of these modifications, there's so many things that could be going on. It's multitude of modifications that you can do. There's so many sun salutation sequences out there. So it's good to have in your arsenal the knowledge of how to modify when you need to. Here's a modification that you can also do. Tom's going to modify for the first time. Tom, you want to be the modifier? Come down to your knees, child's pose. Anytime you want to. If you're doing a million, okay, don't do a million sun salutations. But if you're doing a lot of sun salutations, you might need to come to child's pose. And then rest is over. Down dog. And then look in between your hands and choose to either jump or walk. And then inhale, lift up halfway, however you would like. Exhale, bow in deeper. And then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, Hands in front of your heart. Release your arms down by your side. And let's come to a seated position. So sit cross-legged. Nice cross-legged position. Right hand behind you. Inhale, lift your left arm up. And then exhale, twist to the right. Left hand down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, turn your belly and your heart deeper to the right or not. But keep your shoulders broad. Feel the lift. Feel the brightness that you've created, and you're twisting it out. Inhale back to center. Right hand to outside of left thigh, left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Stretch your legs out, nice and long. So what we're doing now, if you haven't figured it out, we're calming the nervous system after doing all that heating flow. So draw your right knee into your chest, Janu Sirsasana. You're going to take the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Inhale, lengthens the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. And maybe you stay here. And then maybe you bow forward. Your choice. So I'm going to get Tom to sit on a block. Up. And if I scooch forward, you can see Tom tilt the top rim of his pelvis in as he comes forward now. Or not. You don't have to come forward just because I said so. Inhale, come up. Other side. So draw your left knee into your chest first. And then plant the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift up. Stretch your legs out. Now, you're going to take your feet as wide as your mat, and then take your feet a little wider, just off of your mat. And notice if you're sinking in your pelvis, then you put yourself on a block like Tom is, and then hands by your hips. Press down, lift your spine, inhale, and then exhale, bow forward. Maybe you bring your hands out in front of you. And feel the quieting action of this forward bend. Inhale, come back up. Bring your legs together. And then lie down onto your back. And come into Shavasana You may stay here as long as you like. Let your eyes gently close. But for now, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Namaste.